On to the news now. We're monitoring various ports of entry where people are travelling over the holiday period, people travelling for religious reasons, others going back home to neighbouring countries. And we're going to go to one such area, in fact, bring in SABC News reporter Lutendo Bobodi. And Lutendo, you are at the Beitbridge Border Post between South Africa and Zimbabwe. Speak to us about how things are looking there on Christmas Eve.
Well, thank you so much. Word we're getting is that on the N1 between Pretoria and Polokwane, traffic northbound was about 1,450 vehicles passing through one of the toll gates there, and also just about 566 southbound. But when it comes to traffic here at the Beitbridge Border Post, it's been the same song we've been singing since this afternoon. You know, it's mostly commercial traffic. As you can see, the trucks passing here. We understand that yesterday and Monday, the commercial traffic, the volumes were high, and the gridlock was about 12 kilos. But today, it's only just about a kilo or even less than that. So the movement has been very normal here. It's normally a whirlwind of activity, but today we are seeing a very normal traffic, which is, of course, not normal in the sense that it's just a few hours before Christmas. But I think travelers this time around travelers and holiday makers have been smart. They've made travel arrangements early and started moving early. That's why we see very few people moving through, only commercial movements here. But in terms of just individual, passing through, getting their documentation processed, we're seeing very little since this afternoon, since we've been here around 2 o'clock. And before that, like Monday last week, we've been seeing about 18,000 documents being processed every day. But that has since petered down, decreased quite significantly, and we're seeing quite a few people here. But we're here, we've been here since this afternoon, we've been here, and we're still going to be here until about 9 o'clock. We'll still be monitoring movements here.
And Lutendo, as you're speaking, I'm looking at the situation behind where you're standing. Yes, we're seeing movement of cargo tonight, but not as many, shall we say, passengers who are crossing into Zimbabwe. That will have a knock-on effect, right, on people such as the traders behind you who would have prepared to make a bit of money from the traffic.
Yeah, of course. Let me just move again. Let me just move out of the shot again. Yes, of course. There are people who wait here just to carry luggage for people who are crossing over, and they make some rands and cents out of that. They do this every day. It's they trade, they ply every day, and that is how they make their living. But of course, as you said, they've been affected a bit negatively because we don't see a lot of people. But I understand that before today, because there were a lot of people here coming through, they might have made a lot of money as they usually do. But for now, it's just a few people, and yeah, of course, as you said, it might have had an impact on them in terms of making those profits.
And Lutendo, briefly, Limpopo at this time of year is synonymous with large traffic volumes, not least of which because it is home to the 2 ZCC churches, etc. Do we have an idea yet of how the picture is looking for the rest of the province, even from a safety and perhaps collision perspective? Are there accidents being reported?
Yeah, I think in terms of pilgrimage, that is out of the question now because, it's normally around April and September. April, Easter, these pilgrims gather here in Puluk, just outside Polokwane, and also around September, where is the end of the year or the beginning of their year. And that's when you see a lot of people. You see traffic. You see a lot of people, coming over to Limpopo. But around this time, Christmas time, you see a lot of travelers going to Zimbabwe and beyond. You see a lot of people who ply their trades here. You also see a lot of people who come through to South Africa just to buy buy commodities crossing over to South Africa and also crossing over back to Zim. But there's also illegal movements at the river. You see a lot of people smuggling goods through the river. And we spoke to a Border Management Authority earlier, and they're saying they're trying their best to curb those illegal movements. They've deployed advanced technology like the vehicles that are being used here, the multi-purpose vehicles, and also the drones that are flying or hovering over our heads, monitoring those movements at the river.
Lutendo, Bobodi, good to talk to you. SABC News reporter at the Beitbridge Border Post between South Africa and neighbouring Zimbabwe.